morning. Happy Sunday. I need to pop out my chat and whatnot. I was like, you know, I'm a little out of rhythm here with my, you know, what I do in between going live and this, that, and the other. But I'll work that out here in just a second. Don't know what's happening with my bangs over here. Very weird little thing. It's bothering me. Well, good morning and a happy Sunday. Thank you for coming here and spending your time with us. We appreciate it.
You could be someplace else.
We do. And even if you are and you watch the replay, thank you for that as well. That means a lot to us. This is P over here.
M over there.
Patricia.
Mariah.
And together
we are PM Artist Studio.
Ooh.
That was a pretty good one.
Very nice. Harmonating. Okay, I gotta pop out my chat. If you guys don't know that, you can pop out your chat and then you have like your window and then your chat thing. I find that very, you know, like that's how, when I'm watching other people stream, that's what I do too. It also is helpful whenever I'm doing this. And then I make sure that, I turn it to live chat. So that way I don't miss anything and go, you know, because there's been times when I'm like, I feel like there's something going on and I'm missing it. I don't know how they determine what is, you know, top chat or just, you know, what's relevant and what's not.
I don't even know what that means.
I feel like that's a little bit like, I don't think you know me, YouTube, as well as you think you do. Although they do know me pretty well. Okay, so let's say good morning to everyone and then we'll do some announcements and, you know, that sort of thing. We'll work that out. All right, let's see, participants. So so I can say hello to you. Be sure to say hello in the chat because otherwise I cannot say hello back because I don't know that you're here because it fills into my little participant list. If you want to hang out in the background, totally fine. Do give those thumbsy upsies because here at the beginning it is super important because it's like we're live. You should come over here and see what's going on. It's also extremely helpful if you're watching the replay because it says, hey, this thing was pretty fun. These people showed up and then I did too.
Yeah, I was there. I saw it firsthand.
Or I watched it on a replay, which is totally fun. We've got Ann, Anthony, Heather, Barbara, Becky, Betsy, who popped in there, Angela did. Brad's here, Carrie, Christy, Colleen, Darcy, Dana, Eddie, Estella, Evie, Fran, Griffinshell, that's Rhonda, Jeanette, aka Jeanette, Judy P, Kathy, Kimberly, Koala, Bath and Body. Do tell us who you are unless you want us just to call you Koala. Lori, Paul, Lydia, Marta, Mary, Maya, Nightbot, she's the one you want to watch for. She will drop in links to all of the necessary things, usually prompted by one of our lovely moderators. Pages of an Art Journal. That is Christina, Panka, Quirky Queens, that's Kirsten, Ricky, Silver Granny, that's Lynn, Star Traveler, that's Linda, Stephanie is back again. I'm so happy you're here. Susan, we got Susan Anderson, Susan Dufresne, Tamara, Terry Jones, the Castiglias, that's Kim, the Shelley Studio, that's Margot, and then we have Tina and Violet, and Violet's here, Fran, there she is. All right, I may have said Fran. I did, didn't I? Yeah.
I don't know.
I think they were here early. If I didn't say your name, it's simply because it didn't show up on the participant list. So just, you know, give me a good wave there in the chat and say, hey, you missed me. I'm saying hello. Laura Fuller, Earth and Art, hello from South Wales. Welcome. What are you doing over there? Oh, Christy's here. Marcia. Did I say Marcia? I think I said Marcia.
Oh, I don't know. I'm just messing.
Piddling. Would you let me go topside?
Messing around.
Topside?
I'm sure.
And while I go topside here, let's just say that, you know, it is the beginning of the month. I need to post the, oh gosh, I didn't even fix, look at that. That's what I forgot to do.
What?
You straight here. Y'all are going to see the, you know, inner workings of things.
Did I do it?
No, here, I'm going to point it so you can at least get it a little bit. You're pretty good. And a little wonky, but that's all right. We'll go with that. That's how we do it in the morning. Well, that's how we do it each time.
That's how Mariah does it. I don't usually have anything to do with that.
And then this got a little, boy, oh boy. Tell you know, take a day off and it's like...
Things go
like
in
I'm a
handbasket.
Goldfish. What are we doing?
I didn't know what a handbasket was.
How do we do this? What is it?
I don't know exactly, but I've just heard that people say that.
I don't know. Maybe chat will let us know. Okay. Koala is Brownin. Brownwin?
Bronwyn.
Bronwyn. I like that. That's a cool name.
That's kind of Welchy.
Well,
I don't know who. There's a famous literary character, Bronwyn.
oh really? That's
Yeah.
how you know the name?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's how a lot of people know things.
I'm mussing about with this because it's such a nice brayer off.
So
but I had some
if you scoot your little language of the flowers over, yep, and then that a little bit over, yeah, there you go. And then you're not so much on a lean.
Oh, good. Good. Well, it's this brayer off, and number one, I left my brayer down. You know that I do
Yeah.
that once in a while.
Uh-huh.
And it was very irksome because it pulled up. And this is just such a nice...
It almost looks, if you turn it the other way, it could be a real cool landscape. You know, like the trees next to the water.
Oh,
Look at that, kind of, you know, that mirrory.
Well, what I'm
business.
working on here is creating leaf matter.
Mm-hmm.
And remember, well, I'm going to talk about that in a little bit. I have all three self-healing mats, different brands.
She's been practicing.
And I've been practicing, and let me tell you what, that's a lot harder than, you know, the people that are doing the videos on those little things. They've been doing it a little while. They don't tell you that. I think they should tell you that.
Yeah, years of experience. I want to know. How long have you...
And it's hard on your knuckles.
Here, do a little... You know, you did the lipstick thing. There you go. A little bit.
Good?
Yeah, pretty good. There's still a little spot there, but we're not going to worry about that. There you go. Even better.
Well, did I get green on me?
Oh, Anne's going to... No, you're good.
I had green on my finger.
That would
I
be
guess
pretty funny if you're wiping the lipstick and then just...
Big old green slash.
Like, you're fine.
You're fine. No worries.
Just keep going.
All right, no.
Oh, Fran wants to know about the book. She's really interested.
Oh, Fran, it's printed in England.
What year?
Well, my sister gave me this a long time ago, and it's had more than one edition, and I don't know where.
Yeah, like this is a copy of
Yes.
something original.
Yeah, obviously this isn't. Yeah, I don't know, where did I read all that?
Usually it's in the front there, but, you know. Oh, there. What is that little page? That looks like some...
Looks promising, doesn't
That
it?
looks promising.
There we go. The first printing was in 1968, and subsequent printings, and I don't know where in there that she gave me, but it wasn't the latest, I don't think,
Right.
printing that this one. I mean, it may have been.
But it came from something even before that.
Oh yes, it's here. Let me read you this.
Yeah, that's, I think, what people...
To Mother, wishing you many happy returns of the day from Father, August 8th, 1913. I think that's funny that they called each other Mother and Father. Husband and wife. Mother and Father.
Mm-hmm.
There is a language, little known. Lovers claim it as their own. Its symbol smiles upon the land, wrought by nature's wondrous hand, and in their silent beauty speak of life and joy to those who seek for love divine and sunny house in the language of the flowers. And he created this whole little book
For his wife?
for his, yes, for his wife.
For Mother.
Father, mother, yes.
For Mother.
For Mother.
But his wife.
His wife. Look at that. Look at that trailing morning glory there? Isn't that just... And that wonderful little aster over here.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Joan.
And I don't know what those are called. We don't usually have those. I think those are definitely very English.
Hi, Barbara.
Some lovely little, I think, bachelor buttons, maybe. Apple blossoms. Primrose, maybe.
I can remember this being at the house for a long, long time.
And, of course, the sunflowers. We can't make
Yeah.
it without those. And I think these might be little cornflowers. I don't know. But I think these are really the little embellishments on the side, the little watercolor.
Angela says Victorian women used to talk by the flowers in their hats.
yes, everything in here has meaning. Well, you know, if you go back, I remember in a class I had where we were talking about symbolism, and if you go back to, like, I don't know, Dutch paintings, the marriage of Arnolfini, and she's obviously with child, and it's always kind of, you know, an ambiguous thing, but there are little plants down at the bottom, all have meaning, and the viewers at the time would immediately have known. We don't.
Right.
We don't have those. But anyway, my sister gave me this a long time ago, and I love it a lot. And I just wanted to share that with you. Oh, and it's published by, here, it's printed in England. But this will be meaningful for Fran. But see, even the little mucky marks they left in there. All right, Margaret Pixton. All rights reserved, published in England by Michael Joseph Limited, and printed in England by Berwick Press Limited.
Hold that up so people
Crawley.
could screenshot it if they wanted.
Distributed in the United States by the Yeoman Group, New York and Dublin.
Okay, be still. I love it when I say be still and you make one more little movement.
Well, it's not.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay.
All right. There you guys go.
There you go.
There's all the info.
That's just a little, you know, thing.
Hey, Jim.
All right. Well, the prince survived the flood.
These are the ones that I
fetched
you
them
know
from the bathtub.
Yeah. Hey, that worked out pretty well.
It did. That was a brilliant idea. Much better, I think, because if you lay them flat, I noticed the ones that were kind of bent over the bathtub have a bit of a bow to them.
Ah, they'll
I
be
think
alright.
that we could smash them out.
They'll be alright.
They'll be fine.
Better than, like, because they probably would have curled and done some other funky things on the line.
Oh, definitely,
Plus,
because they were very wet. See this? You can tell.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's for what we're using them for.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you haven't seen that one lately because I just did that one.
Oh, yeah. Oh, well, yep, of course. Carrie said that when he was doing wedding cakes that he would put flowers on the cakes that had special symbolism. Especially royal wedding cakes. Did you do many royal wedding cakes?
Ooh.
That's interesting.
I just, you know, we're just so, I don't know. We're not very knowed up on that kind of stuff.
Right.
In the U.S. Okay. Now, here's one. I don't know that this is going to
Hello,
be
Kristen.
a lovely thing, but I might go ahead and try on this as I messed up some really good papers with the swivel dibble duty hooty thing.
Wait, you were practicing on good stuff?
I just thought I was going to be able to do it, and once I got into it, I was just mad, and I just
Kept swiveling away?
swiveling away and
One shouldn't swivel cut whenever you're
angry.
feeling saucy. Swiveling while saucy.
I want to put those over there. Oh, here, I wanted to talk about this because. All right. You see, it happens to everybody.
Gina.
And usually when it happens, I know when this one happened, I don't know about y'all's,
Yeah.
but this was still wet when I went in and tried to do the puzzle on top of it.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then I left it on a little bit long.
Well, I gave her a new puzzle.
I haven't, but the other one's in soaking, and it will probably be in there a few days. That's the other thing. It was really loaded with paint because I've been using it a lot. And that's what happens. It gets stuck, and there's just, you know, once, sometimes I can go backwards, but when it's this bad where it's all the way across like that, really you might as well just give up the ghost and say, you know, I just got to get this off of here.
All right, I can't.
And fortunately,
You got your little table up.
yeah,
Oh.
why?
Well,
Well, just tell me what to do.
Oh, here, I'm going to show it to you again. Well, I don't know if you want to bring it. And then tilt it towards me ever so slightly. Towards me. The back part. Down. No. Sorry.
Well, it's my back.
Yeah. There, I think that's better. Okay. That's a little better. Sorry. That was making me a little crazy. I don't know if y'all care, but
I don't know either.
it's my job to care.
It's her job to care. All right. So anyway, when that happens, you just have to give it up and use the pieces that are. And hopefully it won't be a print that you really love. I didn't have a lot vested in this.
Okay, so was it the new? It was the new stencil that did that.
No.
It was the old stencil.
It was one that I had already painted on a couple of times.
Okay.
And had a couple layers of paint. I mean, it was relatively new.
Okay.
But it was, it wasn't the old one.
Because the problem with that one is it wasn't really giving off anything because it was so caked up.
Yes, I wasn't getting.
So I
wasn't getting good definition.
Gave you the new one. You got a couple of rounds out of it.
And then this happened because I put this. The blue paint was still wet when I tried to pull the yellow. Sorry, that was.
Yeah.
I was probably rambling and
Well, I just was trying to get that whole
sequencing.
Yeah.
It was a relatively new stencil. And, there's usable parts of this. You can still use it. But, anyhow, I wanted to tell you that, it happens to the best of us. Just don't.
Don't fret.
Don't fret about it.
Just get it in the, get to soaking.
All
All will be right in the world.
All will be right in the world. So, I've started going through a lot of my brayer offs. I found this one. I thought this one might.
Exactly, Gina. They're usable parts to even that print.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm not tossing it by any means.
Yeah. Hello, Gayla.
Hello, Gayla.
She says, thanks for showing mistakes. It's very helpful to see it. Well, I know. And then, it's kind of one of those things that it would be kind of nice for it to happen in a live. Now, a little bit of a pain in the butt because...
Then I have to...
Yeah, we need to address that.
Stop production and...
Yeah, and clean because it's not something you just leave there. Because if you leave the paper drying onto the stencil, it is that much harder.
It is.
To soak off.
It really bonds with the UPO quite nicely.
And you want to soak it off. You do not want to scrub it off.
No. Actually, though, I did discover this, and I should, we should have a bathroom session where we go in there and...
Y'all want to come hang out with us in the bathroom, clean up some stencils, and talk about, just general...
because...
like, not personal care, but, personal care of your stencils.
Yeah. I'll make sure I flush the toilet.
Live from the bathroom. You must...
Well, hey, a lot of people might watch that thinking there was going to be. Yeah. I don't. The bot might send us to the corner.
Yeah, no, we'll be all right.
Time out. So I have this space on the sink that's open. And even when it's all cleared off, that space isn't big enough to put my stencil down to get a good scrub. Because one of the things you want to remember, you're not holding that stencil up and scrubbing it on your hand. You want it on a flat surface. And that's really important because that's how you can apply pressure without tearing up your stencil. Now, I will admit...
Evie says she's a bad stencil mom. I think the first person I ever heard say that was Darcy. And I just laughed out loud because she said it in one of her videos.
What is it?
She's a bad stencil mom.
Oh. Well, I'm a terrible,
Well, it's...
I do try to take care of them because I don't, and I've yet to throw anything away. I mean, we recycled it and used it in journals and whatnot.
Yeah.
That one that
nothing ever gets thrown away.
Yeah, I couldn't soak the paint off that one because it was about this thick.
Yeah, and some of them start looking so glorious, they need to just be kept and preserved in that condition.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. And I've done that more than once.
Yeah.
All right, now where was I going with all this? Oh, yes, all right, back to it. All right, so I have some extra pieces of plexiglass that have not been utilized. So I put that piece of plexiglass down on the sink counter, and then I've got a big enough area to really use my nail brush. And I'm telling you what, I scrub the dickens out of it. There's no, little...
Well...
Ooh. Now, if this is one of those ones, remember I did have paper stick to the mandala that...
Which one? Although, pretty much all the mandalas are pretty intricate.
Yeah, the one with the little holes in it and it comes out.
And then you even had the early version where we ended up making more connections on it, but the crop circles.
No, this is it's not
This is
it's not a crop circle.
Dazed and the dazed galactic dazed. I want to say dazed and confused as we are right now.
No. Well, obviously it didn't get put back in here. Well, this is one that's kind of.
It has some little intricate designs.
You want to be careful when you're scrubbing on those.
Yeah.
I mean,
they will pop.
Most of this is just common sense. But, I'm just reiterating because, I don't know, I need to remind myself, whatever.
But puzzle's a great one because it has wider connection points. So, meaning
Yes.
there aren't any little fine lines. When there are little fine lines, please be careful with them. But I think this would be another great video. And maybe we even have Brad come in and because he's the one who does it so well, like a little surgeon. Because, he's fixed some for P, and then he was just like, we should offer up some ideas for people that, want to keep the stencils that they have and be able to, maybe fix them. I know some of you guys don't really, it doesn't bother you, and many of you that I have sent the IMPPs to are just like, hey, I don't really see the, issue here. It's like, yes, maybe some places you can see where it popped. Because those little tiny connection points will pop. But you can come in with a little bit of super glue. And if you have like the little pokey tool or even a toothpick, put a little tiny, I mean, it is, takes nothing at all.
These spatula things.
Perhaps the little tiny tip of it.
Because remember, it doesn't stick to this.
That would probably be perfect. Maybe Brad needs one of those downstairs to test it out. Because we'll put him on video. That's what we've been trying to, think about. But then, yeah, we could maybe make that part of the, bathroom to table. The care of your stencils.
And the thing about it is, gosh, some of mine are going on 2 years old.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Maybe.
Well, no, because I think we're even coming up on
even
3.
More.
I can't remember when we launched our very first. It's been over 2 years.
Puzzle. Remember the original big puzzle where it has the big...
Yeah.
That was one of the first ones that we did.
Mm-hmm.
I still have that. I still love that one.
Hey, and if any of you guys have like little tips or tricks, leave them in the comments.
Oh, absolutely.
In fact, you guys are doing so good. You're doing so good on leaving the comments. We're going to be doing the big giveaway, and it's coming up quick. Like, I mean, less than 100, I think.
Holy cow, really?
Because it's at... Let's see, hold on. I'll look because I got the one thing up. Yeah. We're about 50-something away, I think. I know it happened real quick. I did not expect that. I really thought we were going to be like the whole month, but...
Wow. We need to start collecting some more stuff.
One of the things I'm going to put in the giveaway... Okay, you want to just show... I don't know why they individually package these. Crazy ass China.
I already took mine and put them over in my...
Yeah, well, I ordered 2, and I wanted you to keep those 2, but these are the ones that I really like, and I probably am going to use, I don't know, for the Maker's Creative collab, for the one that we're doing with the Swap and Make, but I'm going to put one of those in the giveaway.
Lovely paper, and you can decorate your outside anything. Mm-hmm. This is what I really like, because that's what I did with my one that I use all the time. It was one like this.
Oh, and then even Carrie says, this is not just a Yupo issue. Any thin bridge on a stencil of any material is likely to be damaged if not respected.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think that's very true.
Very true.
Well, one of the reasons that we wanted to use Yupo versus some of the other materials is that we found, well, it works really beautifully with the gel plate.
Yes.
It doesn't slide around as much because it is meant for all types of, I mean, it's meant to be printed on all sorts of things. And then I think that's when they figured out, like, Ranger even sells Yupo for alcohol inks. It's a substrate that can handle a lot. I mean, the watercolor people, they love it because they can watercolor in it and practice with it and even wipe it off if they need to. I will say it does stain.
Yeah.
And
It does
depending on
stain.
your watercolors, I mean, obviously it's going to
Well,
stain.
and some watercolors are more staining than others.
Right, depending on pigment and things.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're going to be doing that. So you have to come back, leave the comments. If you have a comment and want to tell us about any of your little tips and tricks on cleaning and stencil care, we would love to hear them.
Yeah. Very good. Very good.
You want a link for the cool little notebook? Okay, I'll put that in, Camry. I got that. Hey, y'all ask for. I love it when you ask for affiliate links. That makes me a happy girl. One day we'll get $20. It's always nice.
Hey, every little bit helps.
Hey.
Every little bit helps. All right, so I've been saving out a lot of these brayer offs, and this one might be just something that's perfect for a flower. I don't know, but it's one of my least favorites. So let's bring our. And you can see here some of my cuttings. Now, I don't know if I was just getting better or if it's this board. Oh, here, I want to talk about this. What?
You're like, I think it's probably a little bit of both.
I think you're most likely. All right, so this turned out to be my favorite one. So I cut all these little things out of the label. All right, more sizes, more choices. And this is New Braug. It's the brand name. It has 5 layers. You think you can get by with 3? Not necessarily so. I don't know what about the 5, but number 1, it stays put better. It's thicker. It has the surface on it feels exactly like the others.
Were you practicing with your little cutter thing to cut out all the info?
Yeah.
That's great. Hey, you did pretty good. You're improving.
I'm improving, okay? The nice thing about this, it has inches on one side and
I'll put a link to that
metric
too.
on the other. Hey, all of these things mean something to y'all. Oh, I need to save that. It doesn't mean anything to me. I don't care about that. I don't know about that. Mariah talks about that stuff all the time. It says it's professional, and I really think that that's important.
You believe it.
It's 9 by 12, but that's the outside measurement. The grid measurement is 8 by 11. I don't know if that is like a deal breaker or whatever. It comes in a lot of different sizes. For our particular purposes, I would even have liked one that was smaller, half this size, but I don't know.
No, I think that was the smallest.
This seems to be the smallest in
that particular brand. Yeah.
Okay. All right. It's stable. It stays put. And I told Mariah, did you put in the links to these?
I just did.
And the prices and everything?
No. I didn't go that crazy.
Well, they might want to know that.
But this is your favorite.
I think that this is also the most expensive one. But you can you see the layers there?
Yeah.
And here's this side with the metric measurement, centimeters and inches. I think that that's really a great.
Well, I'm only going to put the link to the one that you like the best. Or shall I put... Well, we'll see. You guys just say, or I like the pink one.
Well, yeah. Okay. Well, it has centimeters on both sides.
It's pink and purple.
It's pink and purple.
Izzy would go for this one.
It's not as thick. Doesn't have as many layers. I think this is... They weren't very forthcoming on their info here. I mean, this is cute and everything. It says remain flat, avoid heat and direct sunlight, cut in different positions to extend the light of the cutting mat. Well, hello. Yeah. Oh, here, it does have inches, look.
Those are not inches.
Forget that. Forget that. So it does just, I don't know. I guess it's just made for you English people and people in the United States.
No, I think, okay, here's the thing, is when you order it as an A4, because you wanted the smaller one, when you move up to the bigger mats, they do inches. That's what happens with the pink and purple ones.
Oh.
Because I'm looking at it right now.
Oh, okay.
And I'm going to post the link to that one.
Okay, well, these people just didn't think you needed to know anything about centimeters, so they just gave you inches.
Or what might be the case here, I'll look at it. You might be able to order it in one or the other. Like these other people did.
Very possibly. Very possibly. I liked the white
Like the
and
big
the black.
Big numbers.
U.S. Art Supply gives you a list of stuff here, but they are not my favorite. They slip. It's a little slippy. I don't, and the
I'm not going to put a link to that one.
the new brow is not so slippy. See, look.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't know why. It feels exactly the same. It's just so weird. But this is they're slicky, and this is not so slicky.
Now, here's the other deal. So, we're going to keep the new brown one, and then we're going to put the other two in the giveaway. Hey, free.
Yeah, exactly.
Because we don't need all these running around here. But we did do one. She's like, because we gave her one that Brad uses downstairs, which is a terrible little.
Oh, it was.
But
really
it was a
horrible.
freebie, like with the. I think
with
it came.
Cutter.
It came with the cutter thing.
This hooter.
Yeah.
All right.
That one
So
is
here's all the infos, Mariah. If you want to put those with the little.
Okay.
I don't really think it's going to be all that.
No.
Okay. All right. Now here's another little thing I want to talk about. Remember when Valentine's Day was rolling around and I gave you the address of Hillside Elementary.
Oh, Silver Granny says on those ones you can put a non-slip mat, and it'll hold it.
Well, there you go.
Perfect.
Duh. I know. I just have moments when I'm like,
Oh yeah. No.
why didn't I think of that?
Come here, y'all.
Yeah, I'm struggling. Okay, so Hillside Elementary in Amarillo, Texas was collecting postcards from its, and they were putting them on their map in their room, the second grade class. Look at this cute little note.
Oh, it's so cute.
Isn't it adorable? And I just, I told Mariah, I said, I love it. Her peas, her cheese. I'm not so worried about Izzy because
I told you not to be. Susan Dufresne told you not to be.
I know. And here I appreciate this thing, and I just having children learn how to write thank you notes. I think is really, really important.
That was beat into. Well, it wasn't beat into me, but it was definitely highly encouraged.
Yeah, and I would help them write some, and then after a while, I just said, if you don't send thank you notes, people aren't going to send you stuff. It's
Well,
just,
no, and then you told me that you were going to tell people not to send me anything.
Yeah. All right. Well, anyway, and they must be they're either bears or wolves or something because there's a little paw print there.
Yes, it's so cute.
They recognized that they got it, and I thought it was cute because, well, I sent it under PM Artist Studio. And I was kind of sad that I didn't hear from
and I know some of you guys...
my student, but, she's a busy mom. She's got 2 kids.
Yeah.
And a full-time job.
Yeah, that's enough right there.
Yeah. Okay, so here we go. Here's a little cutter hooty-doo. All right, so I was working on this, and Brad came up, and he was watching me, and he says, you can see that little dot? Well, number one is working in the dark.
Oh, see, God, he's so annoying.
Look
He
at
knows
that.
things.
See that little dot on the top there? That gives you a directional thing. And
Of course it does.
I looked at all of these. This has the best review.
I think that's why I got that one, because Brad was like, that's a stupid thing to buy, and if you're going to buy it, make sure it's at least the most highly, reviewed.
Oh, some of them, and some of them, they said whatever, it was. But what I look at when I look at reviews, I don't look at all the good ones. I look down at the bottom to see what the problem was. Because if there was a problem, I'd just like to know right off the hand.
Uh-huh.
Right, from the
Or
get-go.
if it's just one of those things where there's a lot of products that I don't think people understand.
Now, I don't know how this is going to, is this?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, okay, all right. So you get your little hooty-doo there going the right way. Because that is one of the most important things that you're going to do. And then when you decide to change directions, get your little hooty-doo thing going the right direction.
Hooty-doo.
That little thing.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you're making gentle, kind of ambling, and you don't hit a paint rut. And you can see where you were. Now, here's the thing too. Oh, here. I didn't even end up where I...
And there you guys go. I went ahead, because I found it in our list of stuff. So that's the one that P's using right now, is that particular little craft cutting tool. So if you're interested in it, there's a link to it. That is an affiliate link, and thank you for using it if you want to.
Now, I have kind of thick paint, so, you know, I'm going through a lot more layers here than you would think. And these are flower blossoms, so even if something like that happens, I mean, who gives a rip? Then that's a pretty good petal, I think. I don't know. Here's the other thing I noticed. I don't know. I do not know. Okay, so I'm going to utilize the most of my paper here. And I'm not drawing these out ahead of time because I don't want any of them to be alike. I want them to all be sort of different. You don't have to use as much pressure as you think you need. When you start out here, you kind of go back and then go forward.
I didn't get that deep into it, Fran. Fran wants to know about replacing. I think you just buy a new tool. I don't know that the blade's replaced, but I might be wrong about that.
I don't know about that either.
Let me look on the thing.
Now, some of the others have replacement blades in them, but they also have, oh, I kind of went over there, didn't I? Okay, again, get my little blade thing.
I mean, I think you'd have to cut quite a bit of stuff to... Oh, actually, no, I'm sorry. It comes with 3. So I got 3 blades somewhere down there. So, yeah, you just pull out that little thing.
So, you know, you kind of got a mussed up area there. But, you know, most flower petals are not, you know, especially in Texas because they've been subjected to...
They're wilting.
They're windstorms and...
They're like, yesterday it was cold. Today it's blazing hot.
And the wind's blowing like a...
Yeah. All moisture is being sucked out of the air. Or no, now today it's, you know, full on just wet.
And I just
Hi, Artie Dar.
tried to kind of...
Oh, you are getting better.
Trying to kind of get petal shapes. I'm not going crazy about, you know. Because once you start getting all of these together...
You're going to build a flower.
I'm going to build a flower. I'm going to build a flower. And I don't know exactly how that's going to work. But see, even this one that's
she's preparing herself to modify her plan.
I'm preparing myself to modify the plan. And then, you know, you can make a little hoop-de-doo to go out in the middle there or whatever.
Oh, Colleen says that some of those, the blades are in the handle. This one, it is not. I kind of, now that, like, you said that, I was like, oh, yeah, I think I have those downstairs in the little basket.
Yeah, and now remember also, and this is the thing also that
Hi, Diane.
I discussed, is when we're, you know, we've got to have something to...
Look at that circle.
Yeah, look at that. Whip that
Holy
sucker out there.
cow.
I'm mussing up my really cute paper over here. So we want something to glue, you know, it's to glue the petals down to,
Yeah.
but we don't want it to be like glaringly whatever.
Yeah.
Because it might, you know, it might stick out a little bit.
These are abstract flowers, but you don't want them to be too cartoony either.
I don't want them to be cartoony. I want them to be just ever so slightly, you know, slightly weird and wonderful. And then there's my center. And I'm going to shove it out.
So Kylie says, it looks like fine for random shapes, but she wonders how easy it is for accurate fussy cutting.
I wouldn't even mess with that.
So I think that that's where, yes, definitely practice for sure. But that little, see, I didn't notice that there was that little white dot or dot thing on there to help you. But I would say that if you got, you know, it's hand-eye coordination.
Yeah, and
Watching that. Yeah, let's just give a little test here on the spot. You got something to...
You know, I just can't imagine. And for my purposes, I don't really care. Now, this is tissue paper that has, I think, 3 layers of of stuff on. All right, let's just say that we want to cut out this flower thing here. All right, number one, I get it going the right way. That's really important when you change directions, to give it a moment to kind of see how it grabs.
And I almost feel like a lighter touch, but she's also going through paint, so I get it.
I don't know that. And the thing is you don't have to push super hard.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to change directions slightly here. Trying to figure out where it was that I started.
Slightly weird and wonderful doesn't. Yes, that's definitely.
You know, I don't know that this is what I would pick to.
Oh, hey, I'm pretty impressed.
To do that fussy cutting stuff, but you know, I don't do fussy cutting.
No.
I can't do fussy cutting. Hey, this is really working out a lot better. I'm telling you, this mat here is more better than the others. It is more better. I don't know. You know, it's got a few ragged edges there and whatnot. And if that bothers you, I would say that this is not.
I really feel like I want to take that away from you and see if I can do a better job than you. I'm feeling very competitive.
Well, I'll just hand it over to you and you can just, you know.
Compete away.
Compete away.
Kylie says, you did well, P. I rarely do fussing cutting. I prefer tearing. That's the thing. Yeah.
I know, me too. I can tear you a mean. Now, Mariah's an ultimate tear, but I can tear. And you can see you can just go along here because you kind of, and it's kind of like those people that use that water brush thing. Well, we kind of lost it over there, didn't we? Lost the plot. Yep. Yep. But remember,
I don't think so, Artie Dar.
It's tissue paper, and we're going to be doing things with it anyway. So, all right. Well, I'll hand this off to Mariah, and she can muck about with it. And
yeah, it's a craft cutting tool, is what they listed as. Craft cutting tools, craft cutting tool pens, 360-degree rotating cutting blade.
Yeah,
has lots of names.
And
they're covering all the SEO.
I might shoot some grease in there and kind of make that a little less, because when it really,
it needs to slide more.
And the thing about it is it seems to catch, and I don't know if that's because of the way I'm pressuring it. Oh great, dumped all my stems out. I got some good stems going though.
Done lots of stems.
Got some stems going there. But that's the progress that I'm making on that right now. I just wanted to let you know that I have not been
Carla says she still has one.
Lollygagging. I have been busy.
Practicing.
And I practiced quite a bit. I've got a bag full of practices here that, I mean, you know, they'll work for something.
Yeah.
And I'm just not that concerned about that. All right, I'm passing this off to Mariah since she thinks that she's
might be better at this.
Might be better at this, and there's a distinct possibility that could be true.
Right here. Okay, or lower.
No, I just didn't want to tip it. All right, now, how is your pointing going on? Anybody done any pointing?
Anybody pointing?
Well, inquiring minds want to know about your pointing. Where's that piece of paper that I was... All right, another thing here that I think is really important. Remember, we did this with colored pencils, where you have a distinct line and you don't want it there. Well, I had a distinct line here. Can you kind of see where it is? And I had a distinct line here. I've been coming in and kind of messing those about. You're pushing too hard. You don't need to just discard these because well, There you go. All right. Well, but she won't listen to me on the
No,
shapes,
she won't.
shapes I
She
want.
wants particular shape. Maybe, hey, I tell you what, you draw out some shapes and I'll see if I can cut around.
Oh.
Oh.
Well, here, I'm going to draw a really complicated leaf shape here.
Okay.
I don't know if we should use this one, though,
Yeah,
because it
that's
might
really
still be
good.
a little wet.
Well, yeah, and it's really, you know, you really like that. Let's, you know.
I really like that. Let's find
Let's try
one
a little.
that I'm not particularly fond of. Here we go. This one's kind
Oh,
of...
Artie Dar, you got to go back and watch the last stream. All about pointing. There was a lot of discussion. And I highly recommend reading the chat.
All right. I'm going to draw on the back.
Okay.
Because that way...
Yeah.
It won't show.
I also think, here's the other idea about that.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to be hitting, because I can tell, especially on this one, that's really this brayer off, that's sort of rough.
Oh, I
and
know.
you kind of hit into some of those things. But if you're coming from the backside, perhaps because it's just smooth paper, you're going to have less of that happening.
Well, that could certainly be true, because I could feel hitting bumps.
I mean, I know on the other side it's there too, but I think if you kind of have that start into some, you know, it's a thought. we are. I'm pretty competitive. Pete will be sometimes.
And see, really what I'm trying
Oh, thanks, Joan. Joan said she had mentioned that earlier.
She said, oh, to turn it over on the back side.
Yeah, I missed it.
Well, she didn't read that to me.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at some of my little flower petals up there. I'm going to really give her a challenge.
Well, that's pinking. We're talking pointing. So, Rhonda says the pinking is the act of tapping on a touchscreen device with a straight, stiff finger with the unnecessary amount of force out of frustration. Oh, Izzy does this. In operating the stupid device.
Ah! Well, we do some of that too.
Well, yeah, so does she. I'm like,
Okay.
you know, that doesn't.
Well, I think it's unfortunate.
So are these then, you want it individual, you don't want it all one big piece. You want me to actually follow the lines.
Follow the lines. I want to see if you can do it. Here she goes. I wish she was over here. But the thing about it is, when I'm using the scissors, that repetitive motion after a while, this joint and this joint on my finger start really, really hurting. And I noticed on that thing, you know, it does put some pressure on this joint.
Right, and here in the thumb.
And a little bit in the thumb. But it's not nearly as, plus I don't have the pressure here, you know, on my finger from the blades. Well, I'm going to go ahead and show you some other things while Mariah's mucking about that. And I think, didn't we get this one going last time? Wasn't this some of the Payne's Gray business?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So flip it over. You can kind of see, I didn't hit it spot on. I will say that, so some turns.
Yes.
Are
it catches.
And yeah, and I can even see that when I'm just, you know, kind of.
Yeah, it needs some grease.
Yeah, I think that might help it. But I think I did pretty good.
Yeah, I might use these. I wasn't thinking I was going to, but gosh, you know, I can
Appreciate the
use some of my mixtures, this stuff, to kind of get it in the ballpark. It might be a really interesting flower.
And this is some thick business you gave me here, and it is rough on that other side.
I don't know if you can see that it has a lot of, well, this is a brayer off. It's got a lot of. Oh, look at that. I love that. Now, see, that's going to be a lovely. Those are really nice shapes.
Well, you drew them. I just cut them.
Well, you're doing a bang-up job there, Mariah. All right, so we've got Payne's Gray down here. And I think we've also got some sparkly stuff. I don't know what that is exactly. I don't remember if that was, it was probably this stuff. I'm thinking. Oh, I have to tell you about this. All right. So remember I have my thing that rolls the paint up. Bring it towards the top. Well, and then I folded them up and taped them. Well, they were fat little boogers and they were falling down in there and I couldn't find them. So I took the tape off, unfurled them, and put them back out. And now they're standing upright. But I all have this problem with my little tubes of paint which are standing up. Because if I pull one out, then the others fall down. So what I did, I just think this is so brilliant. I just have to show you.
Can you bring your box over there?
I took my toilet paper rolls and created a baffling system. So when I pull this out, the toilet paper roll stays there. And did you hear that noise? That was some stuff falling down. So I have that now, and it's got its own little place, and I can put it back in there.
Okay, so Lexi says she's actually given herself golfer's elbow on the arm that holds the paper down when cutting. Oh, yeah. Yeah. That makes sense. So be careful of that. Mm-hmm.
Ah, yeah. That could be some of that shoulder business.
Yeah. Maybe. That just popped my
neck. Did you hear that crack? Okay.
That was mine.
Now, I'm really wanting to use this. Thinking I want to use this. So what I thought, instead of making it flowers, I'm going to make it leaves. But I'm going to use a lot of different greens here. This is going to be the Ultima, what you call it, ombre.
Mm-hmm. Oh, they love this idea.
All right, well, here goes. I'm going to try for...
About the toilet paper thing.
Oh, yeah.
Because remember, there's a little delay. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to use a lot of different greens. And to that extent, we're going to have to... You know, I could use blues, though. I could use blues and yellows make green. That could just be wonderful. What? Read it, Mariah.
Gayla says, you realize P&M lead us to the brink of juicy innuendo and then blame us when we can't help but comment they are evil.
Well, you know, it's just one of the things...
That just means that you're in the right place, Gayla.
One of the things that we do for y'all. We're keeping your minds active and nubile.
Ooh.
Okay. So, we're going to mix us some greens. Okay, that's good. But I've got to get at least 4, if not 5 out here. I'm not going for that sucker. But I do feel... sometimes I wish I had Jenkins.
Jenkins!
Wish I had Jenkins in a heavy body.
Don't we all?
He's a little loosey-goosey. But you know what I could do? I could just use loosey-goosey paints.
Yeah, do it. Or you can make your paints loosey-goosey with that
Well,
stuff you got over there. But then dry time is a little questionable.
I don't want... I want them to mix organically. Oh, look. This is what we're going to do. Little Jenkins, let's get us a good yellow here. All right. And we're going to try to get it so that we don't have to do a lot of brayering. Because remember, we need to get our paper down onto the plate like Toot Sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah. No lollygagging.
That's right.
If you giggle, you must read it.
Oh, so, Fran says, Jenkins was an artist who mixed his own green. And then Ann says, and then Gina wants to know who's Jenkins.
Oh.
And then Eddie says, what Jenkins isn't loosey-goosey. Then Ann says, you know, she's telling Gina, it is Jenkins green, but became a joke. Jenkins is a substitute for a swear or exclamation.
Exclamation.
He has many uses, Jenkins does.
But you must give him a little shake, 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 because he will.
In his loosey-goosey form. Needs to be shaken.
Okay, there's a good one. Now, you know, these do not usually ombre very well. Just, you know.
FYI. But she's going to give her a go.
We're going to give her a go.
Where are you putting that yellow?
I'm putting it here. And I'm going to put a little dab up there.
I agree with
and a little dab right there.
That's interesting. All right.
All right. Now we've got to get Big Bertha because we want to make swipes here.
Yeah, if you use a little brayer for this situation, what's going to happen is you're basically just going to mix them.
Yeah, I've already got Big Bertha over here. I had Little Bertha was on the thing.
So the bigger the brayer, the less she has to move them, and they can kind of stay in their stripes.
Yeah, that is the reigning thought here. Mm-hmm. We do not know this to be true with these particular paints, but we shall see.
That's right, Susan. That's funny.
Well, I don't know. I don't hate it.
Mm-hmm.
And this is
Pecon.
Pecon.
I can tell by the color.
The reason I'm using the Pecon is because you didn't try to cut any of the tissue paper. It is a whole different ballgame. Now, what I would like to do is and I should have done that with it.
You tape it down, maybe.
I'm going to, mopping up the paint with my sleeve. Oh, well, what difference does it make? I'm going to use some of the Deli paper and see if that would, print onto the Deli paper. And we'll see how it works for cutting.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Because the tissue paper is kind of, All right, I don't know. Yeah, we're going to have to leave this. Sorry, guys.
Well, flip it over. Give us a little looky-loo.
Woo! Well, I think we got some good leaf material there.
I'm glad you went with the yellow, because that
it would have been pretty,
blah.
I really wished I'd used a little bit more yellow.
Yeah, a bit more in the middle part, just to...
But there you go. See, I just saved you a lot of paint. You need more yellow than you do the dark colors. But it does work.
With these fluids.
With the fluids.
It's a lot easier to do with a heavy body.
It's a lot easier to have a nice ombre. Now, this is pretty nice down here. Not so much up there. I don't know what happened up there. I do not know. Okay, we can pull that a little bit later.
That's good, friend.
What did you say?
She says, when I hear Jenkins, I see a scrubby schoolboy in rumpled socks and a muddy knee.
There you go. Now, how about that for a concrete visualization? All right. Now, I was thinking on this one, I definitely maybe flowers, but then I thought, what if we did? But I've got so much leaf material.
Yeah, you need to start getting bloomy.
I need to start getting more flower material. So what are we going to do here?
You need to fertilize that stuff and get them blooms going.
We do. And because right now, not so much. I want to go with purple.
Okay.
The reason is because I really want a low contrast.
Right.
Here. I don't want the pattern to show up so very much.
Right, because it's going to fight with it being a petal. Because you're going to cut out a pattern.
I'm going to, yes. So, I've got this purple iris in the apple barrel.
Now, I don't agree with this color.
You don't?
No, I think it's too dark. I think that you're going to just lose your stuff altogether.
All right, Mariah says I'm going to lose it.
Or, if you do put that down, mix in a little white or something.
Well, I just happen to have, like lavender over here somewhere.
Or maybe mix the two together so you can get some more
ombre. All right,
ombre.
what about that?
Yes, that's...
All right, I do think I agree with you, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to ombre it with this.
Lovely.
That way we'll get a little bit of variety going here.
Kylie said, yeah, that one looked too close in value. I think, yeah, that was just going to wipe it out. All that was going to show up was any of that brownish business. And that might have even been a little, like,
Well, and what we've got going here, and I need one more color. So maybe I will just go ahead and use my totally transparent yellow and see what that does.
I think children are on the move.
Children are on the move?
I heard the gate.
Oh.
God, we had a parade of kids yesterday.
It was amazing.
And we cleaned the house. And it was just, you know, I'm tired. We're going to work on orders today after the stream. Just hang out in the office.
Relax?
Yes. Izzy got her birthday present from her daddy, which is a large trampoline. Yeah, you're kind of at the end of that one.
Yeah.
Which has been, she loves it. She loves it.
That's the first thing she did when she got up today. She had her pajamas on, then she came back in. She's real sad because it rained like a...
Oh, yeah, we had some storms. Oh, this is scaring me a little. We have not seen her do the big squeeze on
plastic. It gets off, and I don't know if it's because
the plastic.
You got to have a pretty good grip on this sucker.
Now, once you've squeezed that thing, does it hold the squeeze
it does
of that?
A little bit, but not, you know.
Right, the plastic.
And what I do is I very quickly put the lid on because it keeps the suction.
Yeah. Look at you and your big brain.
Well, I have my moments. But see, it keeps it sucked down. And you can you see where? Yeah. All right, let's see what that looks like.
Oh, wonderful. Sonia got her order. Carol, so in order to use the hashtags, you'll notice a little bit further up in the feed, Nightbot did drop out, here's our commands. So those are the ones that you can hashtag. And if you put that into the chat, then, oh, good job. Thanks, Fran. And Fran just popped it in there again. And by just using those particular ones, that information will come up. It just kind of saves us all a little bit of time on our, like, frequently asked questions or something that we want to pop in there really quickly. They are pre-set up by us, and then you guys can use them. And we really appreciate you guys helping out, because it's mainly information that we repeat or need to repeat for maybe some new people that have come in. And speaking of which, if you are new, say hello in the chat so we can say hello back. We are live right now. Of course, if you're watching the replay, you won't be able to comment in the chat. You should be able to see it at some point, but you will have the ability to make a comment in the comment section. That is not available during the live stream. That's kind of how you know. Do come back and leave a comment, especially in the last, well, this will be the third video that we have done during the month of May, which is now right before us hitting the 6,000 subscriber. I would say it might even happen this next week or so, just kind of depending on how things happen. Oh, that's so beautiful.
I think that's going to make some bloody marvelous.
Yes.
Petals.
Yes.
Good call. Thanks, guys, for helping me save that, because I was really ready to make it into. Now, this may be a little high contrast, but again, I think I can use some of my watered down paints to kind of bring that in. But what I'm really looking forward to is this area right here, where you can have this be the center part of the petal, and that's going to be the outer part. And the same down here. Well, I think that's going to be stunning.
Stunning.
Stunning, stunning. All right. Now, speaking of which, we're talking about green. I point.
Yes. Point to the plate.
I point on the plate.
I think it's some lovely point.
And remember, this was some of that leftover mucky muck from, I think it was that grainy color that I love it, but every time I use it,
Hello, the Whitster. If you want us to call you something else,
bullets because it irks me to no end that it doesn't come off like I want it to. Mm-hmm. All right, now here's the thing. Because we've got that layer down there, I know it's a hard one to pull. It's grainy. It has mealy stuff in it. So I know I need to really get down some good stuff here. So we grab our, oh, that's not it. Good old Lucas Krill. You know, Mariah was talking to me the other day. She said, Mom, you need to stop dissing some of the color things. I said, you know, I always provide a disclaimer saying this is my opinion. It is not necessarily fact. It is an opinion. And you out there must differentiate between fact and opinion. You need to get good at that. So
she gives out a lot of opinions.
I give out a lot of opinions. I have been accused of being a very opinionated person. Granted, I'm 70 plus years old. I am allowed to have a few of those.
She is.
They do not have to necessarily, you know, I like to manufacture my own reality.
That you do.
At this point, I'm old enough, I'm allowed to do that. So
she's happy.
I'm happy.
Most of the time.
My
Usually when she gets unhappy is when I start getting involved in her, you know, manufacture.
My reality. Yes. But she feels compelled to bring me into the real world. And I do not understand that. It's really rude.
It is. Back off.
Just,
I'm happy where I'm at.
I am happy where I am at, and perception is 9/10 of the law. Or something like that.
Yes.
I don't know what I've got going on over there. A little funky thing. But like I said, this is a multi-layered print that needs some. And I've been using
her husband accuses her of this sort of thing. That
manufacturing in her own reality. Well, I just say if it makes you happy. I'm one of those people, you know, they're always dissing what you call it, where it's a false effect. The technical term for it. Placebo. I'm into it. Well, if it works,
yeah.
Who cares?
Yeah.
Oh,
that's some good grungy business right
that
there.
is some wonderful. And remember some of those greens that we looked at in that book?
Yes, and there's a lot of, like, you know, plants, not necessarily blooming ones.
No, the foliage is actually what is what you showcase.
Yes.
This, yeah. Well, I think that's going to be winner. And then I have another one. The poinking's a little bit more. You can see it.
Oh, that's good.
But all I did is I just put down. I'm going to do one for you here in a minute. But I wanted to get stuff on here. I don't know that we'll be able to pull it, but it'll be very close, I think. All right, here we go again. We're going to ombre this. Okay.
Ooh.
What?
Diane says she borrowed 2 of Christina's PM Dragonfly, and Christina is Pages of an Art Journal. Diane, that's her mother. If y'all wanted to know the, you know, who's it, what's it.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. And so, and Christina's going to partake in the June collab, and she's already done, her color, her pink and orange journal pages were beautiful. But anyways, so Diane borrowed 2 of her Dragonfly masks, and they are very intricate ones. They are some of those, you know, must handle with care. She says they're very fun to use, and I'm looking forward to seeing that. So she posted it in Makers, so y'all can check that out.
All right, so I've got this green, and you know, I am not feeling that green. Just not feeling it. But I am feeling this. And what I may do here is, I don't know if I can get away with Jenkins.
I like that, Colleen. I cannot read that one out loud.
You can't? Why?
Well, I'll make it a little bit cleaner. She says, her daughter says that she pees puppies and rainbows. But I'm okay with that.
Me too. All right, we're going to try it. We're going to see if we can get Jenkins, because I like the way Jenkins is going to look with the light color that's on here. But I don't just want Jenkins. I want a little bit of this golden ochre color here. And this isn't opaque, but that's okay because this is probably going to be our last pull anyway. I'll leave that out here. That's a good pointing color. Always have to do-si-do everything over here. Well, we may have just discovered something really phenomenal here.
Yeah.
Just hoping.
What did we discover?
That you can use the different body paints to ombre.
Yeah.
But I think you're best if you use the heavy one in the middle, because then
gives
you
you
can
time
get it to mix with. Isn't that wonderful?
I like
now
that.
We're still going to need, we've kind of lost some stuff because of the value. I was worried about that. But still, I can come back in and do pointing and get some more of the lighter colors here in the areas, you know, where there isn't any light color.
I'm with you on that, Kayla.
What did she say?
She says in order to paint puppies and rainbows, she'd have to read less news to achieve that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or, you know, you could just...
Yeah. Libation.
Tipple.
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 Ooh. Well, we got some good vocab happening today.
Oh my gosh, look at this brayer. Isn't that wonderful? It looks almost like fabric.
Yeah, if you would turn that part, are you talking about the top of the...
I'm talking about right here where my finger is.
Oh, okay. Well, hold, yeah, there you go. It is lovely.
Admiring my brayer. Okay, yeah, where are we here? Okay. What time is it?
Oh, you should do a little video, Diane, because that's one of the reasons I always tell P to, like, you know, give it a little wiggle, but see, you can only see some of that stuff in little videos.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she said she did put some sparkle on the dragonflies. But you can't see it in the picture. Yeah, I mean, shiny stuff does not photograph.
That's where you have to have the video.
Yeah.
You've got to be able to do the wiggle.
The move, the little
The
wiggle.
The wiggle. Wiggle. All right, well, we've got some things to show you today.
We do.
We do.
Carrie Griffiths, are you still here with us?
You better be.
Rhonda. Griffinshale. We've got 5 stamps.
Now,
All available in the shop right now.
Show you that in a minute, but I got to show you these, and I love these. I can't tell you how much I love these.
Where's the main stencil part? Are you going to get to
underneath.
that? Okay. She's like, I'm just going to focus on the little things that you get.
This is the main one.
So that's Carrie's Frankenstencil that we turned into a 9 by 12. Now remember, his was 12 by 12, but 9 by 12 version of it. Will you scoot up just a little bit? There you go. Perfect.
Now, can you see it?
Yes, pretty much.
Yeah. Okay. So that's
the main
stencil.
thing. The mask.
But all these little pieces come with it. Cool.
Oh, you're missing a little piece.
I am?
Yeah, it probably got stuck to the thing. Yeah, one of the little crisscross hatchy things.
Oh, yeah, I had that earlier. It did. It got stuck to something.
There's another little crisscrossy hatch
This
piece.
little dude right there.
Because I didn't want just one little connection there, and then I didn't want to connect it with a...
There it is.
Perfect.
I just love these because on the little plates... Get one that's not all gooped up. This one. Big old bubble out in the middle. That is not good.
Well, so Carrie, you guys remember, you guys made the big request on after he had used his Frankenstencil in his last video for the color combo. And then he's like, okay, well, there's a lot of open spaces there that we could utilize. And I said, that's a fantastic idea. So we talked it through, and he's like, can you help me make this happen? I said, of course. I mean, I think it's brilliant. So all of these are little nods at all of the stamps. So they coordinate with all of the Carrie stuff. And so we ended up calling this, and this, so Brad made a little change on the name. So we called it Industrial Market. Isn't that because you get a little bit of like everything? You're visiting all the little industrial parks.
I just absolutely love it. And you know that I love doing this kind of stuff.
Oh, yes. This is for those of you that love just kind of mixing up some little things down on the plate. This one's for you for sure. Because you get the one big stencil. We're only selling it in the one big size because we want to be able to have, it's a set. And let me give that link because I'm thinking about it.
Which one do I want to use now? And I've got to think about how this is going to go. And remember, when you do these, make sure that you get the right side down. Well, sometimes you just got to go with a negative space. Or you move something over.
Oh, yes. And they are definitely perfect for ATCs.
I don't mind these going off the page so much as I do the ones that have little hoop-de-doos on them.
Right, because you have basically stencils and masks. So, yeah, the mask going off the page, not probably as big of a deal.
Yeah. And I'm sorry that I'm doing this off of the...
Yeah, there you go. Look at that. You used all but one. Oh, well, and it's funny. You chose to use the outer bits, which we'll send all that, and probably all the other little squares. I just didn't want to include that in the picture because I didn't want to, you know... It's like you get the solid pieces too. But we wanted to really focus on the cool design pieces that you get. Well, Carrie had said he wanted it industrial, you know, he's like, you can play around with the name or whatever. And then I was thinking just, you know, industrial Franken. And then I was like, well, that isn't very fun. And then Brad's like, ooh, what about industrial market? I'm like, that's perfect.
All right, let's do it. I've got one. Oh, here before we get onto this. Let's look at the stamps real quick. Getting ahead of myself here. Okay. All right. Well, you know I love that.
See, and you'll recognize that's the little hatch mark, but I had to make it bigger because cutting that was not going to be something that's fun.
And it's a good companion piece for lattice.
Yes.
And I love this. And let me show you something else that you can do. And I saw this somewhere, and again, I apologize. And if it's you, just holler out at me. I don't mind. And you can even put it in capital letters since I'm such a... I can't. I can't think of who it was that did this business with the stencils. I mean the stamps.
What are you talking about?
Okay, so you want to leave a void somewhere on your stamp. And
oh.
you just put a piece of paper down there, and sometimes it's kind of nice if they're, you know, not so. But to make it look like you have a tear in your screen, you can just put that down, and then you can go ahead and do your stamp over it, and then you'll have a negative. That won't, yeah. Saw somebody do that.
You're masking out your stamps. That's very clever.
Stamps. It's not very clever.
Oh, Eddie says he thinks that Julie Torrance did that. So it probably was when you were watching.
Okay, it probably was. And I apologize, but, you know, I can't...
Oh, and Carrie says that this looks great as a background to a floral piece, kind of like garden lattice.
Oh, absolutely.
So you can be industrial yet still have some foliage and
oh, yes, I
greenery.
can see roses behind this.
Oh, that would be so cute. I like the idea of mixing that, making it really look more industrial, like a silver, even almost like a chain link fence mixed
Oh,
in with
yes.
flowers. That's a real statement on society.
Absolutely. Well, this one is, yeah, definitely some pop art going on here. It reminds me of the Joan Walsh.
This one's a little hard to look at too. Like, don't move your eyeballs too much, because I was even like, when we design some of these things or get them digital, I get real sensitive to the black and white, the checkeredies, and sometimes when Patty Tolly Parrish is using her black and white papers, and I know Gayla knows what I'm talking about, I'm like, woo, it just really messes with me. And this one's trippy because, like, if you stare at the dots, they start to kind of do weird, funky things.
Oh, yes, they move on you.
Uh-huh. Isn't that trippy?
Yeah, I don't want to do any more of that. I really...
Especially while drinking bourbon.
Seriously. Again, I am so happy that these are in stamp form because it's hard. You have the stencil till the cows come home, but sometimes you just need a nice sharp line.
Yes.
And this is where this is.
Exactly.
Is what we
or a full, because the thing is like with a stencil design, even with a mask, like you're just not, we can only go to a certain size. But then, to have some like little floating objects within other floating objects, that's what only really can be done with a stamp, or by you creating that composition on a plate, but then you have to do that like each and every time.
Yes. All right. Now, I'm going to get back to that, and I'm going to pull some prints using my layout that I have there, and we'll do a long haul so that I can use the stamps over the top of those, and you can see some ideas that would... You probably don't need them. You already have all of your own, but anyway, I'll just show you how I interpret that. All right, so, I'm concerned about my wallpaper. Mariah, could you turn my fan on for me? I have it. Get a little moment. We turned the AC off because it blows everything around. So I asked Brad, I said, is there any possibility that we could make a stamp out of that stencil called Victorian wallpaper? Is that correct, Mariah?
That is correct.
I don't want to have to mess with that big old stencil on my plate and try to line it up. What I need to have something I can put. I'm going to make the paper, and then I'm going to stamp the paper after the...
Right.
Yeah, to make it. And I think I'm really hoping I can utilize the stamp pad, but if it doesn't work out, I know I can also use watered down paint and just wash it quickly.
Yeah.
Give it a good... And that's where, that... I don't know that I would necessarily...
Hi, Marielle.
Use the toothbrush on that one. The heavy duty, the nail brush.
Yeah.
But, an old soft bristle toothbrush.
Are you talking about as far as...
cleaning your stamp after you use acrylic paints.
Well, and here's the thing. So Carrie has a spot on it. I even shared it. I took a little clip and then I posted it and I shared it on our Facebook page of him talking about how he does the stamp with the acrylic paint, but if you have like a little wet cloth or even just a little bath, because I think Elizabeth St. Hilaire, she said she just has a little bath of water and just kind of throws them in there, and then that way the paint stays wet, and then you can address it afterwards, and really all you have to do is give it a fairly decent wipe. Don't be going... Intricate designs will not hold up to that. I don't care who did it. If it's a foam stamp and you get crazy with it, you're going to tear the lines.
Yeah. I don't...
Yeah.
I don't...
Kathleen.
That just makes perfect sense. All right. We're going to use deli paper on these pulls. And I'm just going to get it out here right now so I don't forget. Because I really want to see if it does work. And here I'm measuring this very Precisely.
Yes. In the way that you do.
In the way that I do. And because we want to test this deli paper out as a possible petal or leaf, you know, candidate.
Yeah. And play with some new stencils.
Yeah.
And things.
Now, I don't know, you know, I don't know that. And the other thing with this is, if you are gluing onto your ATCs, your tags, or your
Journal pages,
collages, etc., etc., etc. Remember, the deli paper is a little more opaque. You're not going to be able to see through it. It's not going to disappear like your tissue.
It is less translucent.
It's less translucent. But for my purposes, I don't really care about that. All right, so today what I did is I kind of rearranged my little thing here and wrote the colors that I have here. I've got some blacks here that need to be used, because they ain't getting any younger.
Mm-hmm. Some MJ design stuff.
Yeah. All right, well, you can see I taped that one down.
What is that? Is that a Liquitex or?
I think so. I don't really know because I...
Yeah. Folded it up.
Yeah, it's either Liquitex or Amsterdam. And I'm thinking it's Liquitex.
With the stripe on it like that, that's a Liquitex packaging. Plus, I don't think you had Amsterdam paints prior.
I'm not sure that Amsterdam comes in a
metal tube.
Metal tube, thank you, God.
I knew where you're headed with that.
Hey, now look at how nicely those stuck.
These are going to be so fun.
Kind of does a bit of curling.
Yeah, the deli paper usually does. Artie Darcis, do you remember how many gel plates you have?
Not right offhand.
It's more than 12. I know that.
One more. And then we'll start with some different colors.
Yeah, see, I think that might be the number, Fran.
The reason I can't tell you is because some of them are still in their cases over here.
Yeah, they are
right.
in the rotation.
In the rotation. Okay, see, we're starting to get some good line quality there.
That's right.
Right off the bat. Right off the bat.
This is kind of like when they're in those questionnaires and they're asking you like your age. You know, are you, you know, the night, what is it that's usually, you know, are you 19 to 25 or 26 to whatever? Just kind of give it an average.
Of course, we have to have. I'm trying to think of strong colors here, because I think that this warrants that. You know, it's not a namby-pamby design. It's a
Don't be namby-pamby.
It's in your face kind of, you know, whatever stuff.
Mm-hmm. Well, it is going to be really interesting once these get into Carrie's hands, because we will send him off his samples. Okay, did a little, I don't know why I did that, but, you know, sometimes it does that. It'll be interesting to see what Carrie does and how he utilizes these in his style.
Yes, because we all know that mine's a little more
Yes.
slap dab, you know, just working on it as we go.
Yeah.
Oh, I did not like that. I did not like that at all. Oh, no.
Yeah, you're getting sticky.
Now, see, this is exactly where we were on that other one.
I'd say
Okay.
weather.
Yeah. All right. I think maybe I can make it work. I don't know whether this is going to happen or not. But I've still got some good stuff that I can use down here. And actually, you know, I could probably come in and glue that down, and it's not a...
You want me to glue that real quick?
Yeah. I'll hand that to Mariah. Now, what I am concerned about out here, and I will take these to the sink immediately upon...
After the string.
After the string.
Immediately after the string.
But if I get some paint down on this...
I'll keep it...
And I just applied too much pressure, and it was...
soaking it up.
Soaking it up, and I didn't get it off in time. So, lesson to be learned there is... Don't lollygag.
And don't press too hard.
Don't press too hard. And see, the other thing with that deli paper, you know, it's got a natural built-in
resist.
So, and really, I've never had a problem with the tissue paper doing that so
Bye,
much.
Sandy. Thanks for hanging. Come back and leave your comment.
But I would say if you're worried about that, make sure you put down the slick side of the tissue paper.
Ooh, love that.
Isn't that beautiful? I do too.
I like the red kind of coming through that.
Okay, I'm putting down the slick side of the tissue paper. Just because I'm a little worried about those areas that
the paper areas.
The areas where we retained a bit of paper. And I didn't want to destroy everything here just because of that little snafu. So we're just, you know.
that's the, I have more than one, less than 15.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay, I love that. All right, let's get some purple on there.
Oh.
How about, oh, yeah, I'm tired of trying to squeeze that dadgum glue out of there. All right, well, these guys gotta go.
Thank you,
They gotta
Phyllis.
go. They gotta
Hello.
go. Here we go. With some
Oh.
phthalo blue green shade.
And Kirsten over at Quirky Queens, she just did a long haul video. She kind of changed it up a little bit. I think she learned some things. I even said that in the comment that, you know, she kind of figured out, oh, okay, well, which I like it. You know, spice it up, trying to change it up. You don't always have to do it exactly as P shows it or as we talked about.
No, how boring would that be?
And she got some cool results on some things, and then some things were like, okay, well, yeah, now I see why, you know, you do it this way.
And the whole thing is with the gel plate, and I think that's why I'm still interested in it. I don't ever get the same results doing exactly the same thing 2 times in a row.
Yeah.
It's just
Very.
okay, again, I'm using the slick side of the Carnival tissue paper. I do not know if that will make a big difference, but you know, my feeling is why chance it? Because we're getting some really cool little prints here that we can use as collage onto our smaller venues. Oh, look at that. Oh.
Ooh.
Isn't that starting to look just yummy?
Yes. And then one of the other things, and I meant to say this in the comments, Kirsten, if she's still here, I don't know if she is or not, but maybe she'll watch it back. Oh, she is. There you go. Is that keep in mind, you don't have to, you can put the stencil down as a true mask. And then, you know, so your last pull layer is actually going to determine the color of the lines.
I've got to get rid of old blue here because it's...
Versus, you know, if you put the paint down first, you're locked in to, those are going to be the line colors.
Yeah.
That's a trickier way to go because, you know, if you're really trying to be just, you know, all right, I'm going to see how many colors I'm going to do. That can kind of get a little tricky.
I'm not going to go for a, because I do want to get the others. I have one plate that's left that I can do the square business on, because I think what would be great is to use the square grid stencil and then, you know, tear these up and put these inside, or cut them up and put them inside the little cubicles.
Oh, Terry Jones, she just bought a 16 by 20.
Whoa!
Was it Jelly Arts or Gel Press? I would say that's probably Jelly Arts. And one of the other things to keep in mind is that it is actually better to just keep going. Don't let those layers dry. Like as you're doing this, the only one you want to let dry is when you finally and pull up the stencils, because one of the things that you can run into is if you let your stencils dry onto the plate, they will get this funny little paint halo stuck to them, and it will actually pull those up.
Yeah.
Now, if you're reactivating the paint, I think that's less likely to happen, but that's one of the reasons you don't really want to leave your stencil down and let it dry. P knows that. She's done it. And it was quite tricky getting the little paint halo off of it.
Well, it was, and the other thing is it was really hard on the stencil.
Mm-hmm.
No, now see, look at what's happening here.
Jelly Arts, yeah. Ooh, yeah. The stencils start releasing cool things.
Stencils,
And you get that the kind of the quicker you can turn the paint colors.
Yeah, I'm just, the reason I go along pretty rapidly here is because I want those layers to start releasing, but at the same time I want to build up some more layers. Does that make sense? And I do eventually, I think I'm going to lean towards silver. Just I get a metallic in here. And see, I'm not having trouble with those areas where it's stuck, because what I've done is I've just put another layer of paint over the top of those.
Yeah.
So they're not, the paper is no longer.
Yeah, you need some space, obviously, to house one of those big plates.
Yeah, I wouldn't have enough room here with that one. Oh, and this is such a nice dirty yellow. Look at this.
And those of you that are watching the Art Whisperer, let him, I would love it if you left some comments on his channel. Tell him, come on over. I have reached out. I have not heard anything. So, we'd love to have him in the community. I love that color. It's a good industrial color.
I think it is too. But now see what's starting to happen? This is, and I don't know how many I've pulled.
Thank you, Sherry.
This is that sweet spot. If you can keep this going, but you've got to put all those others down before you get to the point where you can do that. I'm going to use a little less blue this time around, so I don't have to pull two. Getting a very interesting looking brayer off over here. Kind of beating up the edges of those little dudes there.
I love this. And it's cool. You guys can't see it like top side there, but like from this direction, it looks iridescent. Oh, Marsh says she loves the look of the African tapestry or area rug with these stencils. Yes. And I was a little worried that like the outer bits of the two mask pieces, or three mask pieces technically, weren't gonna be as fun, but they really are. Hey, Dot.
Oh, and this is going to be wonderful. It's going to be like tarnished copper.
She's excited. You have 20 minutes.
I'm good.
Okay.
I think that's going to work out just about perfect.
Ooh, did you see that, Fran? Fran's probably just like, you know, here, she needs a napkin.
Jenkins!
Oh, here he is, Jenkins.
And you notice I have not been cleaning off my brayer so very much here. So I kind of think maybe that's, you know, that's adding that other...
Yes. Kind of streaking with the paint. Yeah.
And remember, if you want to have these be stiffer, you could always glue them down. And you've all seen Mariah's marvelous gluing method. Mariah's marvelous gluing method.
By the way, so I will be scheduling streams, and there will be a stream tomorrow, I believe at 10 a.m. for Mariah Makes. I'm gonna play around in the Julie Torrance book.
But I think that depending on what color we use next, you could have a really nice thing going on here. That was me beating up
Yeah. Getting the paint shaking.
The folk art metallic, because it does have a tendency to keep the one stuff on the top.
Yes.
Oh, this is going to be a great.
I will. It'll be like in the usual schedule. I need to add it like to the, you know, weekly links, and it'll be in the regular rotation, and then I'll post prior to, so.
Okay, I got to get these guys out of here. We'll go through them at the end. I promise.
10 a.m. is Central Time. Kind of like the Sunday stream. This one, you know, like like this one. I don't know why. Like this weekend has been a little crazy. No, thanks, guys. Lots of you guys are already planning on showing up. Cool. And I don't know if P's gonna sit over here and help, or if Brad will be with me.
Yeah, I don't know either. I have to have something to do or I get in trouble.
I know, that's right. Diane, you can always watch the replays. I know it's... I love having you in the chat. Yeah, so my plan is to work in the Julie Torrance, the blue journal book that she sent. I just want to do some little things. And then maybe I'll pass it over to P to keep her busy, and we can kind of maybe do some other things, too.
Oh, yeah, because I want to do... I've got some ideas for some tags for that.
Okay.
I didn't know that's what you were thinking about doing. I'm using this on top of this because I think that it's this kind of a burgundy, grungy red anyway.
Yes.
That I think it's going to be really, really nice. I anticipate it will be really nice. I don't know.
There's a fly in here.
One never knows.
We've been leaving the back door open in the mornings, and so the flies come in.
Yes, and because it's such lovely air.
It's been really pretty in the mornings, but it's getting hot in the afternoons. I mean, it was hot.
All right, I'm still putting down the slick side just because I don't want to take any chances with that area that I know.
Yeah, and then Fran will be on in the afternoon for us. I mean, here it's afternoon for her. She says it's 7 o'clock. Greenwich. Greenwich. Green.
Don't look at the word, just say it.
My
Greenwich.
brain says Greenwich. Mm-hmm.
It's like Worcestershire.
Yeah, Worcestershire.
Worcestershire.
And then Colleen says that's 8 a.m. Arizona peeps. Greenwich. See, Eddie wrote it properly for me to say.
Yes.
That was funny.
See that? It's pulling up that
Uh-huh.
kind of. All right, we're going to do a little. One of my favorite colors. Well, you can see we still had quite a bit of red on there, so we might have to give that another go.
All right, Darcy. I'm trying to read to see if anybody else said something about sister sauce. What's the sister sauce? I don't know what the sister sauce is. I want to know as well.
This is not necessarily a very industrial color.
I don't know. That's not true. It could be. It's when your Barbie car fades.
I didn't like that big blob out there, so I just
You took care of that?
took care of that.
Yeah.
Sometimes I do things without thinking about them, and I'm later going, "Oh, what did I do that for?" But I think that was a good call.
Oh.
Now I'm trying to get as
Oh.
pink off as possible.
Darcy says, so how she heard someone say Worcestershire is your sister's sauce.
Oh.
Your sister's sauce. Worcestershire.
Oh,
Kinda.
little bit of gold there that got squished out. All right, this will be a good candidate for an overprint. You know, it's kind of whatever.
Mm-hmm.
All right, see where our lines are?
Yes.
You think we should go ahead?
I
should
do.
We do it?
Especially
Should we do
since
it?
you got, 13 minutes.
Okay, and I do want to get. Oh,
Show prints.
Oh, no. I saved it.
Worcester sauce? Oh, well no. See, that's Eddie's throwing in some Brooklyn into that business right there.
Okay.
Oh, yes. I think that's right, Gayla. And then Fran says it's Worcester sauce.
Worcester sauce?
That's how she says it. Worcestershire.
Worcestershire.
Yeah, Worcestershire. That's how we say it.
Worcestershire. All right, now you need to turn it over before you determine your color that you're going to use.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is, you know what I'm leaning towards?
Oh.
But remember, we don't want to whip it on there.
Do not whip it on there.
Do not whip it on there. You will be mad at yourself because you've just spent all this time creating this lovely thing and you're just going to smear it.
Mm-hmm.
So, let it rest.
Ooh, I love it. And I love Chex Mix. And I know that that's
Yes.
one of the things that goes in it. And I like the kind of the clumpy things that are like, highly concentrated.
Bits.
Yeah. We should make some. Because it's so much better than the bag stuff.
Oh,
Like
I know
homemade
it is.
Chex Mix stuff is the bomb diggity. Yeah, see, Carol, she says, like, Worcestershire. Mm-hmm, Worcestershire.
Worcestershire.
Gina's never had that sauce.
Oh my goodness.
Well, if you've had Chex Mix, you've had it, and there's probably a lot of things you've probably eaten something that people have used to mix it in.
Does it have dead fish in it?
Kind of like
fish sauce. I love fish sauce.
Yeah, I know you like some fish sauce.
I like fish sauce.
It has a high umami.
I don't like the smell of it, but I like the taste of it.
Yeah, the fish sauce is kind of
good stuff, Maynard. All right, we need a brassy color. We need a brassy color here. We need a brassy color. We're going to mix a brassy color. Take a little bit of this, which is already leaning.
Okay, Kirsten says I pronounced it Gary Osh.
What?
Jerry. Stupid town name. Oh.
What do you say?
I don't know. There's a town that's just talking about something, and because I guess we're getting into how we say certain things.
Okay.
Anchovies. Yes, it has anchovies.
Oh, yes. Of them.
So Lynn says they pronounce it Worcestershire. Is there a tata in there? Yes, meatloaf. I was about to say that. It's fantastic in meatloaf. And I used to hate meatloaf, but I actually think meatloaf is pretty splendid these days. We make it a lot better than we used to. It's a little more gourmet, less, just...
Well, you know what got us when we were doing that HelloFresh
and the Blue Apron.
Blue Apron.
I kind of miss some of that.
They, if you're not a cooker and you really want to kind of get into it and get into it and
try some different
learn
things.
a lot of things, because we learned techniques that I didn't even...
Yeah.
And, some of it was BS that I didn't pay attention to it because they didn't obviously know what what they were doing.
Uh-huh.
But sometimes I was absolutely amazed. All right, now look, we've got a wonderful, wonderful thing going on here with that.
Worcester, yeah. Fran was saying something too.
Let's do a little one with this, so that I'm thinking contrast, so that when we start bringing in our other little pieces, to glue on top, that we're going to get a nice, you'll be able to see it.
Oh yes, definitely. Like even at especially like if you go to New Orleans and you get a Bloody Mary there. Oh yeah, they're definitely gonna have some of that in there.
Okay, I'm going to lightly
we're doing it right. He says you could build a wall with meatloaf if you're doing it wrong.
Hopefully I still had enough there that I can get that off. Yes.
That's right, Sarah.
Yes, yes,
Ooh,
yes.
that was so nice.
Yes, yes, yes. Okay, now let's bring back our little guys. If I can extricate them from the pile here.
And I think, if you wanted to use this stencil on a smaller plate, you could just use sections of it. You could even cut it up yourself if you want.
Yes.
I think that all would be perfectly acceptable and highly encouraged.
Yes. But here's what, and I, it always tears better one way than the other, and I don't really care whether I've got a really good tear.
Oh, Kirsten, she did. Okay. She didn't know what. I don't think she knew what meatloaf was. Oh, look at her. Look at this impromptu collaging.
Impromptu collaging. Well, I think I get so excited about, and sometimes, Marissa, it's just weird what you focus on and get excited about. And I really, I understand that.
You got 5 minutes. You need to show your prints.
I do, but I just want to see everybody to see
How these
bloody marvelous.
within this one stencil set, because it's stencils masked, you could create a whole slew of things.
You can't. And, just putting because see, they're still going to see, you're still going to be able to see through them, because remember, this is the carnival tissue.
Flip your brayer.
Pardon?
Did you flip your brayer?
Yeah.
Okay.
Man, that's some good stuff. Look at
There's some
that.
grunge happening over there.
Oh, man.
Ooh, and it has a little sparkle to it.
Oh.
Yeah, take that away.
Take that away is right. Don't want to accidentally. All right. Now you see what these are. So let's go through all of them. And then we've got this one, which we could add stuff to it also. And then, of course, we've got this that we pulled off.
Yeah, and those of you rewatching or in the replay, come back, leave your comments. That way you can, because if this ends up being the largest comment stream, this is where I will take the entries from. And it's going to happen pretty soon, I think.
All right, now you can see this is much darker. Just because of the way it came off of there. But look, putting some of that out there with that, isn't that exciting? Oh, I just think this is exciting stuff. I don't know that I've got to keep these so that we can see the actual print that I want to work from at the same time. So you can kind of say, nah, maybe not so much. Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's some good stuff.
That's some good stuff. This one is a print over, and what I mean by that is I will take another color and print over the top of it because it's kind of anemic. Okay, now here's some of our Deli paper. But look at that red and yellow there. Isn't that marvelous? Oh, look at this one.
Ooh,
Now, I don't know.
yeah.
See, this might be, if we just went with all metallics, look at that.
That's lovely.
Yellow on yellow. You know?
Ooh, that one's cool because it's got more going on than you really,
And then we've got this really dark grungy yellow. Some pieces of this. And you don't have to tear it. You could cut it if you wanted a much
cleaner. Yeah.
cleaner, edge. Oh, look at that.
Oh, fantastic. And then Carrie mentioned that you could have the grid on the plate and then reinsert the little pieces.
Absolutely. Right onto the plate.
Or just use the little masks in the different spots. That would be fun.
I'm leaning this one. I'm going to put this over here with the other green gold. Oh, I'm stuck together here.
Yeah, that was kind of that first pull off of there was some heavy paint.
Very juicy. Now this is almost, I don't know, I like that kind of dark, blacky. Oh, but look at that. That's wonderful. Wonderfulnesses.
Hi, Ellen. Hi and bye.
And here's some more wonderfulnesses. Look at this one over here.
Oh, Terry's in. She's near Asheville. That's cool. I love that. It looks like a quilt.
That dark blue with that yellow. Look at that.
So we covered a lot of things today. Petals.
Yeah, I really didn't think I was going to do
Cutting.
I did not plan on this. This just happened.
You give her a new stencil, she's going to use it.
That. I don't know that I love that. We might put that over here in the green one because of the contrast. But now I kind of like that.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's got that little tiny bit of red in it there.
All right, guys. Thanks again.
Hey, whoa.
Well, you gotta hurry up, lady. You got like
Whoa.
we're on the.
Whoa! Look at the black.
You're oohing and on too much at each one.
Ooh.
We're done.
Okay.
All right, guys. Thanks again for hanging out. We will be back. Well, I will definitely be back on Monday. That would be tomorrow. So watch out for that new stream. Fun stuff. P might join me if she's, so inclined. No worries.
I have to say something before we
Okay.
go. All right. For those of you who are reluctant collagers, this is perfect. It's got it all lined out, gridded out for you, so that you don't have to make those decisions. You can just
Kind of play
with it, and it's all there for you. You don't have to figure it out.
Yeah.
And just play with it, because I think everybody, once you start doing something, you become more comfortable. So then you can branch out. You can say, well, remember what happened back there on yada, yada, yada. Well, there you go.
There you go.
If it's your maiden voyage on collaging, this is where you start.
That's right. All right, guys. Well, we'll see you back here
Bye.
tomorrow. Bye.